Quick question. What are the greatest films or film sequences that have no dialogue? Answer in the comments, please. Now then, we are the Don't Tell Show. We make and review realist cinema. We put up a new video every Monday, so if that sounds like your sort of thing, hit the subscribe button and we'll see you there. Remember Us is a 2021 short drama written and directed by Dean Jones, starring Jonny Hirst, who you may remember from Sibling Blues and also Eddy, both of which we've reviewed on this channel. So as you may have gathered from my opening question, this is a short film that has no dialogue at all. And as you may have guessed from our YouTube channel name, showing not telling is what we're all about. In fact, it's our ultimate goal to perfect that style that started somewhere around the time when Murnau and Carl Mayer threw out the intertitles in silent film, and which has been continued by such masters of cinema as Brian De Palma. I know a lot of people think he's a hack, but could a hack concoct a scene like this? No, idiot. Anyway, back to this shot. Remember Us, I don't want to tell you what the plot is per se, because it's quite experimental and it's something that you have to experience more than just follow the plot. Like the works of Heather Young, bing! It's showing you elements of everyday life, but not the parts that you would normally see. It's taking us behind the curtain and seeing what people are like when they're on their own, and in a very painful way this time. You get a film like this where there's very little action and there's no interaction. Everything that you see on the screen seems to take on a different, deeper meaning because you're forced to observe rather than just sit back and let it flow over you. You're having to observe and you're having to watch more closely and you're trying to figure out what the character's thinking and you're writing the dialogue in your own head because you've had the sort of training wheels of dialogue taken away and you've been left all on your own. It also works as a great metaphor for loneliness in this film. The silence is a character in this film because there's no point in filling it with anything, so all the thoughts are just running around in your head and you want to scream out but no one's listening. This is all delivered with a really intense, committed performance from Jonny Hirst, and it shows great range to him as well. In comparison to his very outward, angry performance in Sibling Blues, everything in this is very internal, and you can see that when you look at him. You can see the pain and the anguish in his face, but you can't know what's going through his head. You can kind of know what he's feeling, but it projects it back onto you, and you start to feel that, and you get immersed in it. And the camera work does that as well. The way it lingers for just that bit too long. There's a sort of you can't quantify it, but there is a sort of length a shot can hold for before it starts to become awkward, or the feeling of it starts to change. And this one does that. So it really puts you in there for too long. And I want to leave. It's really effective. I love the cold feel of it. I love the static. I love that it makes you work. It's a ballsy experiment. It's a cinema that I really admire. That I think too many people are just not interested in visual storytelling now. I think Christopher Nolan sort of opened that up now for people to just write exposition and to just have ideas right on the screen and not. You're having to work for those ideas. You aren't having to really engage with it. It's just everything's up front and it's all the subtext is now the text. But in this case, it's not. Everything's under the surface, and you have to go there. You have to really go there to get it and to understand it or to try and make sense of it yourself. And it puts you through that ringer, and you come out drained. You know, that's not everyone's cup of tea, but I mean, real art should cause that sort of change, and I think that's what this film did for me, anyway. So Remember Us, yeah. Oh, and also, yeah, the performance, the committed performance was fantastic. It was real sort of painful method acting. Really, you could tell that he's really in that scene. Yeah, it's just great. As always, the link will be below. Check it out. Don't forget to tell them that we sent you. We are the Don't Tell Show. We'll see you next Monday.